Hey guys, this is Zach Rebele with Reb Baseball on YouTube here. We have quite a few videos talking about mechanics and higher end things like hitting approach. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the swing path and what we're actually trying to do.
This episode of Reb Baseball is brought to you by your host, Zach Rebele, sponsored by Reb Sports Academy.
I've been coaching summer ball for probably 4 years now, and we have an organization, and this is what we teach our guys to do. And I'm going to explain why we do it, the reasons for it, and why it works this way, and why some other ways don't work as well. So really what it comes down to is when I'm wanting to swing, right, bat speed, everybody talks about exit velocity, and exit velocity is great. I want to hit the ball, I want to drive the baseball, but really it comes down to creating bat speed. The more bat speed I create, the more exit velocity. But truthfully, what's bigger than exit velocity and the bat speed translating to exit velocity is when I have bat speed, one, I can catch up, and because my bat speed's better than everybody else, I have more time to decide what pitches I want to swing at, right? So everybody talks about the steroid era, and there's that Bonds conversation on, okay, well, he was already hitting home runs, and now he's hitting them 450 feet. Well, I had someone say, it's not, I used to say it's, you still got to hit it, right? And somebody explained to me, which made a lot of sense, was it's not the fact that he was hitting it farther. Yes, he still has to hit it, but because his bat speed was better, if he was even on steroids, who knows? I don't know the deal. I try to stay out of that stuff. But the bat speed was higher, faster. It gave him more time than everybody else to decide, am I swinging at this pitch? Is it a strike? Is it a curveball? Is it a slider? Right? He didn't have to cheat to get to heaters. Right? So it made it easier as a hitter if you have more bat speed to decide what pitch you're swinging at and being able to catch up, right? So what's the best way to create bat speed? So when I get into this swing here, okay, my stance, right, and I'm in a good position here, strong position to swing, I only have certain spaces of time to create bat speed, okay? When I make contact, let me grab a baseball here. When I make contact, my contact points, right? My away pitch is probably on the plate here, just off the front maybe, but on the plate away, right? My middle ball is just off the plate in front, and my in ball is out front here, right? So I think most people agree on that situation. So my contact points are out front, somewhere out here, okay? So to me, that tells me I have about from this space to this space to create bat speed, okay? There's no reason to get on plane super early. I'm not hitting a baseball back here. I don't want to get on plane yet. I want to create bat speed. Getting on plane, if I hit a baseball here, I'm in trouble. If I hit a baseball here, I'm in trouble. It's probably going to go straight in the ground, right? Because it's beat me so bad that it's going down here, okay? So there's no reason for me to get on plane early, right? So one of the reasons is I want gravity to help me from here to here. That's the downward swing everybody talks about. It's not down through the baseball. It's down from here to here to create as much bat speed as humanly possible, right? I got to let gravity help me. Going against gravity is a bad idea, right? That's why the high pitch is so hard to get to, because it's really hard to stay above the baseball. You don't have as much gravity to help you from here to here, right? I don't have gravity to help me create bat speed and then swing through the baseball, okay? So that's why this high ball is harder to get to. Well, when we drop our barrel down in this slot and we barrel dump is what it's called, I'm not creating that bat speed, okay? I'm dropping my barrel back here. Now I have to drag it through with my upper body. That's very slow, okay? It also doesn't allow me to be adjustable in my swing. If my hands go first and I create bat speed here, bat speed, bat speed, bat speed, right? With my hands, I let my hands create the bat speed, okay? I can adjust to whatever I need to. My barrel's inside the ball and I can get to wherever I need to get to. If I'm here and I barrel dump and I'm starting to drag it through and I straighten out this front arm, I don't have much adjustability here. This is my adjustability. It's not a very good spot to be in. Here I can adjust to whatever I need to, right? If I'm swinging and missing, I can move wherever I need to go, okay? So I want to create as much bat speed from here to here as possible. And it's hand speed. That's why it matters, right? Yes, I'm dropping my barrel, but my hands didn't move, okay? So I'm using gravity, but my hands aren't moving. So the energy isn't translating from the bat into my hands, okay? I need my hands to use the gravity. Then I can keep it moving all the way through the swing, okay? So really what it is, it's a downswing from here to here. I want to create bat speed inside the baseball, then I can get on plane. So I'm really trying to get on plane somewhere here to here, but I'm creating that speed here to here so I can decide if I want to swing earlier, so I can have more exit velo. And oh, by the way, not to mention, when I attack this ball here, I can actually be longer out front. So when a guy throws a fastball, right, and I'm on time for it, and it's right here. I'm on time for the heater right here, right? It's his hardest pitch. Fastball's the hardest pitch, and I'm on time. What can he do to me to get me out, to get me off balance? What can he do? Well, if his fastball's his hardest pitch, he can't throw it any harder for the most part. You know, maybe he reaches back and gets an extra mile an hour. But for the most part, he's just going to continue to pitch, okay? Really good pitchers add and take off. That makes it difficult, right? But because I'm on time for his fastest pitch, it's either his hardest pitch or everything else is slower. So if I'm making contact here, everything else is slower. Now everything that I make contact on is out here. It's not back here. He doesn't throw harder than his fastball for the most part. Maybe every once in a while, right? But for the most part, his stuff is going to be out here that I'm dealing with, right? So if I barrel dump here and I'm on plane early and I'm attacking with a slight up angle, I'm going to have trouble with anything out here. If it's not a perfect fastball and I'm not perfectly on time and my barrel's starting to come up, the ball's going away from my barrel like this, right? If I go down angle here and I get on plane, well, I haven't started my upward swing yet. I can stay flat for as long as I possibly can, right? But as this shoulder, if I barrel dump and I start pulling through and trying to get that launch angle, right? My barrel starts to drag upward because it's following this shoulder and this hand. This hand and this shoulder want to go this way. They don't want to go through the baseball, okay? So when I barrel dump and this shoulder takes over, my bat starts to go at this angle and it starts to lift, right? And so the baseball right here is coming in this way, staying flat, if not dropping. And now I'm going at a different angle than that, right? So now I have one chance to hit this baseball, or maybe two, right? I get into the zone too early, right? And I start coming out of it. I can get a hit here, a hit here, a hit here, and then all of a sudden I'm up and out of the zone. If I go down angle, I can't get a hit, can't get a hit, can't get a hit, can't get a hit, can get a hit, hit, staying down through this, hit, and now I'm out of the zone, right? So it gives me all this space in here to get a hit instead of being in and out, right? So what happens is, truthfully, this difference from here to about there is probably a 2 mile an hour fastball, right? The pitcher just didn't quite get it as good as he normally does. You're still reading heater. You're still trying to time it up. It's still a fastball, right? But because he didn't throw it perfectly like he normally does, and it didn't come out with the ride, and he lost 2 miles an hour on the pitch, that's the difference between here and here, right? So if we're not able to extend through this baseball, down through it, and stay on plane as long as possible, I'm not even hitting an 82 mile an hour heater versus an 80, right? Let alone a changeup that's out here. Now, obviously, I have to have a little bit better timing on a changeup, or else I'm going to whiff no matter what. That's why 10 miles an hour is important. But 2 miles an hour is probably somewhere in here, right? So, boom, here, where my bat is, to this baseball is probably 2, okay? So now you're not even adjusting to a fastball. The differences in velo in a fastball, let alone a different pitch, right? So I really have to work on staying on plane as long as possible out front, not back here. Nothing's happening back here. It's all happening here. So I'm going to create as much bat speed as possible. When they talk about backspin, everybody wants backspin. It makes the ball go farther, right? In golf, you see them hit the driver and it goes like this and then it takes off up. You really know it's smashed. That's all they're doing is they're creating backspin, right? So we want that. Backspin is the ball where the outfielder stands here and thinks he's got it. Oh, I got it. Oh, no, I don't, right? He starts running back to go pick it up from the fence. That's the ball we want to hit. We don't want to hit the top spin ball where the outfielder goes like this and goes, oh, it's in, and then runs in and catches it. We want to hit the ball that jumps on them, okay? And if you think about it in ping pong, how do I create top spin? Well, I go at this and then come up over it just a hair this way, right? So a great drill to do is in a longer cage or even out in an open field, tee work or side toss, soft toss. See if your ball's backspin or topspin. I'm gonna guess 99.99% of the time if you hit a topspin ball, you probably dragged the shoulder through and your barrel went up at it, right? We talk about your barrel went under the ball almost, or on plane, and then you started to attack above at it, right? The only way to hit a topspin line drive or fly ball is to hit the bottom part and then come up over it, right? If we hit the top of the baseball, we can hit a ground ball. That's not the top spin I'm talking about. I'm talking about a ball that you hit down the cage 70 feet, and at the end it starts to do this. That's because I went at it, got on plane probably too early, started dragging with the shoulder, and I came up out of it and hit the top part of it. Okay, so we really want to focus on these hands going down to the baseball. That's not down at contact. It would be the exact same problem, right? I'm talking about how you only get one chance to hit it this way if you're going up at it too much. If you're going down at it too much, it'd be the same thing. I only have one chance while this ball's coming in. I want all the chances, right? Now I understand balls move and stuff and they throw sliders, right? And you have to be able to track it and your barrel has to be able to follow it. But that's what we're trying to get to, is to extend through this ball so no matter where it is, I can still make contact. If I go up at it, I have one chance because the ball's coming in at this angle and I'm coming up at it. If I go down at it too much, I have one chance. Neither of them are good, right? It's the philosophy of at the beginning. I want to use gravity to my advantage to create that bat speed. Then I get on plane when it matters or just before it matters. Not way back here where there's nothing going on in your swing, right? And once I do this and I'm not in a strong position, right? And I don't use my hands to fire through the ball, now I have to pull with this shoulder, which is creating less bat speed than normal. I want to be able to use my hands and use gravity to help me do that, okay? So that's just what I wanted to talk about real quick. I think everybody has a little bit different swing, but there's some key principles that have to happen. And for instance, that's why everybody's trying to throw that high fastball right now. Because when I drag my barrel through, I can't catch up to 94 up here, or 98 or 102. It doesn't matter. It's whatever level you play at, right? It's hard to catch up to this high ball, even if I go down with bat speed. But if I attack up at it and use my shoulders, which are very slow compared to my hands and wrists, which are very quick, and I attack with my shoulders, it's really hard to catch up to this one, right? And then all of a sudden you start cheating to get here, right? We talked about how Barry Bonds got to sit longer because his bat speed was so good. You're doing the opposite. You're having to cheat now. You're having to swing early on the fastball to catch up. Okay, now they drop the slider on you, right? So now you're guessing because you can't catch up to this one because you don't have the bat speed. So you're sitting here, right? You don't get to read. You're guessing. Up heater. Up nope slider, right? Then they talk about plate discipline is the problem. It's not your plate discipline. Had nothing to do with plate discipline. It's because you can't catch up to a certain pitch, and now you're susceptible to every pitch, right? You have to cheat to get to here, and now when they don't throw that pitch and they throw something else, you're already swinging, you got no chance to hold off on that slider away, right? So that's why bat speed's so important, and that's why I truly believe here to here is where you got to create. You don't want to go against gravity. It's undefeated, right? So we want to use gravity, then get extension, and I'm not saying downswing at contact. That gives me one chance. I'm not saying upswing at contact. That gives me one chance. I'm saying down from here to here, then get on plane and be as flat as possible, as long as possible. Gives you the most chances to get a hit. And if you guys like this, please subscribe. Let some people know about it, because I'm going to try to explain more high-end stuff. I talked about hitting approach, advanced hitting approach, not just going up there and swinging at any pitch. So go check out that video. I've talked about how to do your tee work and why. And we've also gone over with Major League Baseball player Jeff Rabelais, who is my dad. He talks about defensive work and fielding mechanics. And we're going to give you a lot more videos. So please go subscribe, like the video, and check out the other ones. Thanks, guys.